assume that somebody like that just shows up with confidence. But she didn't have it. But she credits her branding for giving her that extra push, and I appreciate her. She's one of my dearest friends to this day. So, before, right? After. Big difference. Okay, tip number 2, imagery. Use imagery sparingly, and never use stock imagery or clip art in your formal brand, right? So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, right, you're home, you're like, okay, I really love seagulls, man, so I'm gonna make my logo and I'm gonna put a seagull in it. How do you draw a seagull? Oh, I'll just get clip art and I'll stick it in there. Okay, well, what happens at that point? You look like everyone else. That's when you look like everyone else. Now, sometimes you do need imagery, and a professional agency will create custom imagery just for you, just like the Nike Swish, or the 2 simple circles, right, in Target's logo. Or have you ever noticed the arrow in the negative space inside of the FedEx logo? It's very telling. Yet it's just a typographic logo. It's simply letters and color. That's all it is. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So when Jackie came to us, she had custom art. This is all custom. She had it created for her. All of this imagery, she felt, communicated her brand. But while it's fun and entertaining, all of that is super fun, and I get it, we felt like it was irrelevant to her business model. And we didn't think it spoke to her expertise. Jackie Simmons is a brilliant mindset coach. She's highly educated, highly trained, she's brilliant. And we simply didn't feel like those cartoons were communicating that effectively. So we created relevant imagery that communicates her skills effectively. We did a really cool digital animation of her formal brand that creates this explosion of all those shapes in the back of the face. It's really cool. I'm sorry I didn't incorporate it. I meant to. But as a result, Jackie has her own podcast. She has a video show. She is hugely successful in her realm. But she needed something comprehensive that spoke to her expertise. Okay, tip number 3, color. Color is essential in creating the look and feel of your brand, right? I mean, we know that. I mean, everybody wanted the biggest box of crayons, right, in kindergarten. I know I did, but I'm an artist, right? You saw my pretty sign out there that I drew. My husband had to tell me, you know, it's good, it's enough, it's good, because I would have just kept doodling on there all day. Color is so powerful that it can influence thinking and reactions. It can stimulate bodily hormones. Google it. Google the power of color in branding. That's your homework. For example, did you know that blue is the least appetizing color in the color palette? And that colors that are warmer, like red, yellow, orange, are the most appetizing colors in the color palette. Think about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, right? The big players. They all use those warm tones in their branding. So what does that mean? Well, it's obvious. It means if you want to lose weight, you paint your kitchen blue. Isn't that obvious? Oh. Oh, and don't eat at McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's, probably, if you're trying to lose weight. Okay, so, speaking of food, so this is Hempway Foods. Hempway Foods is a Colorado-based company that uses the hemp seed as their primary protein source in creating vegan burgers, breakfast sausages, and crumbles, right? So when we did our discovery phase with Hempway Foods, we decided that the fonts were outdated. Yeah, believe it or not, a font can be outdated, right? And that the green and brown logo just wasn't that appetizing, right? So we took Hempway Foods on. And we developed a very comprehensive brand strategy, including packaging design for Hempway Foods. We incorporated modern fonts, and as you can see, there's a much better representation of the hemp seed. And the colors, they're appetizing, they're fresh. I'm very proud of this project. The Hempway Foods packaging has earned Hempway Foods eye-level shelf space in some of Colorado's most popular grocery stores. And that's the goal. She wasn't even able to get into most of these grocery stores, and when she was able to get in these grocery stores, she was on the bottom shelf, simply because of the difference in the packaging. Packaging, a Ziploc bag with a label stuck on, okay? A professionally designed box. It just spoke volumes to where she was going to go with this brand. Okay, I have a bonus tip for you. Raise your hand if you want a bonus tip. Yes, right on. Okay, here's your bonus tip. Know your brand archetype, okay? This concept, created by Carl Jung, helps us to understand the personality of a brand, who the brand is, what it stands for, and what makes it unique. Can you tell me right now what your brand archetype is? Because it's the secret sauce to your brand success, truly. So, what do you think P. Diddy's brand archetype is? Cool. P. Diddy's brand archetype is cool. P. Diddy, Sean Combs, thrived as an outlaw archetype. It's not a bad thing. Sounds bad, right? My outlaw comes out sometimes. My business partner tells me, put your outlaw away. It's okay. Everything's fine. So let's see if you agree with me. These are some characteristics of the outlaw brand archetype. Their goal is to overturn what isn't working. Their business strategy, their beliefs are that rules are made to be broken. Who does that sound like? And me. I always say, these rules are for everybody else. They're not for me. And their business strategy is to disrupt and even shock. That's their business strategy. Their special talents are outrageousness and seeking radical freedom. Think about Howard Stern or Harley Davidson, Steve Jobs, or most 80s rock bands, right? Like Kiss. Think about it. Exactly. Outlaw archetypes. Now, you can be a combination of archetypes. You don't have to be one. You're not stuck in a box. You can be a combination. I love this quote about the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things, right? They imagine, they invent, they heal, they explore, they create, they inspire, they push the human race forward. Craig Tanimoto wrote that for Steve Jobs and Apple Computers. I always put Craig Tanimoto because most people put Apple. And he's actually the author of that quote. And I think it's brilliant. So, that was a lot of info, right? We covered the proper use of fonts, colors, imagery, and brand archetyping so that you can attract your ideal client with ease, make more money selling high-ticket programs, products, and services. Think about Hempway Foods, the difference in the packaging. She was able to raise her prices. Simple as that. She wasn't really begging for clients anymore, right? She was able to make a greater impact and compete with their industry leaders. Just get recognized. Our brand assessment has helped dozens of business owners get and stay on track. That's when we sit down with a business owner. We look at everything that they have, whether it's their packaging or their website. Maybe it is their programs and their products and their services. Maybe if they're service-based, coaching, maybe a coach or an author or a speaker, we'll take a look at all of their branded products and services and make sure that their branding, their formal logo, is married to all of their other programs, products, and services. Think back to Chevelle, where every program she decided needed a new brand, right? It might need a sub-brand, but that brand still needs to be married to your formal branding. It has to still have that recognition. So, now we're gonna have some fun. Okay, I have gifts. Now listen, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to know everything. But you do have to know this if you want a goodie bag. So, okay, play with me. Woo! Tip number 1, never use more than how many fonts? 2. Woo! Right on. Okay, so God. Now everybody knows the answers. I'm a good teacher. So I'm going to toss it, okay? I have to tell you a story based on that. So that's dangerous. Don't do that. I used to, many moons ago, and you'll know this because of my outlaw archetype, right? Many moons ago, I was a manager for a rap band in Colorado called the Homeboys, right? And so when the Homeboys would be on stage doing at a gig or something like that, they wanted to throw things out into the audience. And yeah, you can take an eye out like that, right? So we created a promotional product for them that was basically a roll of toilet paper. So it was a roll of toilet paper because their album was called 10 Years of BS, get it? So it had a bull sitting on the toilet, repeated over and over on the toilet paper. And they could throw those out into the audience from the stage, right? And yeah, no damage done, right? Okay, well, you guys rock. Okay. So tip number 2, never use. Excellent. Or. Woo! I like you guys so much. Right on. Okay. Who wants a goodie bag? Right on. There's a little mirror in there. And there's a little postcard and some contact information. Okay, tip number 3. What? Color is essential in conveying the look and feel of your brand. Okay. Here, we have to give one to this new author. She just got published. Her book just came out. She needs what? Branding. Right on. Okay. The bonus tip, knowing your what? Brand archetype. Bingo. You guys are so cool. Right on. Okay. Can you tell I'm a leftover hippie from the 70s with the right on? Right on. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so that being said, I'm pretty sure if you're an entrepreneur, that after hearing all of this, some of you may be wondering, right? Is my branding working for me or against me? Period. I mean, you might be thinking, well, my business is doing okay, But could my branding be the reason that I haven't made it to the next level? And it's possible, right? Whether you're growing a brand new business and you're just starting from scratch, or you're scaling an existing, established business, branding is essential. That's the game changer, truly. You have to ask yourself if you're sitting on a gold mine of untapped brilliance. Because if you are, and you're just simply invisible in the marketplace, that's the problem. Because most of us love what we do, and we have a message and genius to share with the world. And it's not fair to the world for you to keep your genius a secret. It's simply not fair to the world. It's not your true purpose. My job is to help businesses go from invisible to visible, popular, and profitable. That's what I do. It's so rewarding. I get so much pleasure out of seeing somebody come into their own, simply step into the spotlight. I love that. So we want all of you to have powerful branding, and our complimentary gift to anybody that's interested is our brand assessment. That's just for this One Life conference. If in fact you're interested in having your branding reviewed, take a look at your website, we'll hop on a Zoom call, you are welcome to take advantage of this. Okay? There's a postcard in the little goodie bags, there's a website. This brand assessment will help you understand, I guess I have to carry it, will help you understand who you are, how to attract your ideal clients, how to position your brand, and how to make more money. It's that simple. So, if you're ready for a dynamic shift in your business, please take me up on my offer. That's the website. It's a Barcode Branding. Bar has 2 R's, like my name. Get it? Branding. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to have a lot of fun. Now we're going to do an activity, okay? Because at my core, I'm a teacher. That's what I like to do. I like to educate, and I like to interact. I love people. See my people earrings that I'm wearing? I like humans and dogs. And yeah, well, we won't go on now. In private, we'll talk. So now let's talk about you. I want to know about you, okay? So I'm going to pass out a form. Oh, my lovely assistant is going to pass out a form. Isn't he? He's the best. My BFF for sure. So don't fill it out now. I'm going to go through it with you, and then we're going to do an activity. Raise your hand if you know one person in this room. Raise your hand if you know everybody in this room. Okay, so that's what this activity is about. Okay, we're going to meet each other. We're going to get to know each other a little bit, and then I have more goodies. Don't worry. I love to bring